welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am Ashley. I'm a homeschooling mom with 8 kiddos. I wanted to do a video today that I actually saw that kind of gave me inspiration on my unpopular opinions as a mom. Some of these might drive you guys crazy to think that I operate this way. Some of you might be like, yes, I am right there with you. And some might be like, I never even thought of that, or okay, let me give that a try. I have some unpopular opinions and some things that I do that are probably unpopular, especially as a large family, and probably not what you would expect coming from me because I am typically very organized. There are some things that I do that are not so organized. Number one, my kids don't have set chores. I may have tried that at one point, but I don't do that. I don't make them do set chores. If I need them to do something or want them to do something, I will have them do it. There are certain expectations, that things that I expect them to do, of cleaning up after themselves and things like that. I do not have a Monday is your trash day, Tuesday is your dish day, Wednesday is your laundry day. I operate better and my house operates better when I do what needs to be done, and anything else I delegate out to them that I need them to do. That is a very unpopular opinion. And again, this all just works for my family, might not work for your family. You might think this is a horrible idea, but I don't do it. And if there's anything out of the ordinary, I have one kid that will do things without asked. I have one kid that I have to ask. And if there's anything out of the ordinary, then that's, I deem that as a chore that I would pay them a chore and a allowance for. I think at this age, I know a lot of people say, well, you know, you're expected to do this, and we come from a large family and you all have to do things, you know, and pitch in. And I agree with that. But there are things that I want them to learn, and I want them to also earn money doing it, because it helps them understand not just that, okay, when I have my own place, I get money for doing chores. That's not what I mean. But doing things that you're asked to do as a job, and getting something in return for that. I just think that's important. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of how I was raised, and it worked. And I learned how to do all of the things, and I didn't have any issues with it. So unpopular opinion, yes, but they don't have any set chores on set days. I do not wake up before my kids, typically. Now, if I have a lot to do and I know that I have to get ready early, yes, I will wake up before and get ready. But I do not wake up early to have me time. I do not wake up early to work out. Now, if I know that I need to do something and work out, then I will do it. But I typically find that when I sleep, I'm much better, and then I can work out later in the day when my kids are up. Because my luck, I would get up, work out, and my kids would be up 5 minutes later. And then I'd just be cranky. So I do not wake up before my kids. Maybe an unpopular opinion, it just doesn't work for me. I would rather spend all day with my kids than by myself. By myself, I get lonely, guys. It is not, or I sit there, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with my time? I don't know. I guess I just don't crave that. And I know there's a lot of people that like drop their kids off at preschool and they go do their own thing and they, you know, yada, yada, yada. That's not me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've had kids around me for so long that I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, from kids, it'll go to grandkids, and then I'll just never be alone, right? I'll always have kids around me. But I don't crave that, like, solitary time. Yes, it's good, like take a bath or, you know, run to the store by yourself kind of thing. But being by myself like all day with all my kids in school, And I guess that's why I homeschool too, and why that works for me and works for us, because I don't crave that alone time by myself. I probably get zero done, zero. We let them do as much extracurriculars as they want within their extracurricular world. So I'm not saying like I let them do 10 things, like I let them do soccer and baseball and tennis and golf and all this stuff. No. As active as they want to be in their extracurriculars, they can be that active. They can do all the performances. They can do all the tournaments. They can do all of the things. We let them do that, given that we can pay for it. And I work very hard to figure that out and budget that out to make sure that that is not an issue. I try very hard to, and sometimes there's sacrifices, but I truly believe that I do not want our financial situation, whatever that might be, to hinder what they love to do. Now, the mortgage gets paid, the lights get paid, the electricity gets paid. But as far as extras and things that unnecessary things, I think it's important to let them do the extent. I do not want to hold them back because of our financial decisions or our financial mistakes or things like that. And so I think it's very important that they are allowed to do what they want to do within the realm of their extracurriculars. We do not have any set bedtimes. There's an roundabout time where my kids go to bed, but we live a little ways away from extracurriculars. And so sometimes by the time my older kids get home, and my husband, if he's the one picking up, it's like 9:30. And my littlest, my 7-month-old almost, will go to bed, obviously, because he can go to bed easily and he's always tired. But my other kids, they all go to bed at the same time. There's no like, you are going to bed at 8 o'clock. You are going to bed at 7:30. That would not work in this house, because half the time, half my kids are still at their extracurriculars at 8 o'clock. My fourth kiddo has a baseball game that doesn't start until 7:30 tonight. So he won't get done until 9. And by the time they shower and then eat and do all this stuff, it just doesn't work. So something that's unpopular, but nobody has bedtimes. Watching TV and video games during the week. We homeschool. When they get their stuff done, they can watch TV and video games, because we leave the house at about, I don't know, between 3 and 4 o'clock. So there's a small gap that they have to kind of do whatever they want. I'm okay with that. You've done your work. We're going to be leaving soon. Within that time frame, you can watch TV, you can play video games, whatever. You've done what you need to do. Check the box. We'll be leaving. It's not like you're playing from the time you finish school to nighttime. Unpopular opinion, maybe. Probably, because I see that a lot. Again, all of these things, and these are just a fraction of things. I probably could do another video on this. These were just things that kind of came to the top of my head. These are unpopular things that probably some of you are itching because it gives you anxiety. These are things that I just don't worry about, and call it just a large family thing. I don't know, but it's just things that I don't feel like are a make or break, because it's all about the back and forth and the fact that it's not black and white all the time. I can't say, no, you may not watch TV for Monday through Friday, period, at all. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not a black and white person. It is a gray area between black and white. Use that area, because these kind of things are not black and white. Like I said, as your kids get older, your bedtimes become different and your expectations become different, as you're not going to have your 8-year-old go to bed when there's still people up and eating dinner and conversing and all of that. It's just, some things are just like, it's not going to happen, right? And so I find that these things are just things that are small enough that it's really not that big of a deal to me or my husband. And it's just become kind of our way of life. And it's things that we just kind of let go. And it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world if your kid doesn't have a bedtime, because they're not going to stay up till midnight. I mean, they go to bed at around about a certain time, but I don't say at 8 p.m., time's up, go to bed, that's it, lights out. I don't say that. And so, again, I don't know, call it what you want. I call it unpopular opinions because I see so many people that are very strict on bedtimes, that are very strict on set chores, that are very strict on certain things, and totally okay if you are like that. Totally okay. But also okay if you're not. And also okay if maybe you have set chores, but you don't have set bedtimes. Or maybe you don't let them play video games during the week, but you let them stay up longer. And I think that just goes along with comparison in motherhood and social media and all that stuff. I will link that video that I just did. So there is a balance. There can be balances within everything, in motherhood, in your house, in things that you let your kids do, in things that you don't let your kids do. There can be balances. There can be that gray area. And so just know that unpopular opinions might be unpopular to somebody, but they might be popular for somebody else. And you're never going to agree 100% with somebody on their mothering or parenting advice or parenting decisions. You ultimately do what works best for your family. But as a mom, these weird things work best for our family. Let me know down below if you agree, disagree, if you have other things that you think are unpopular that you do or don't do. Let me know down below. I always enjoy hearing you guys comment on things and seeing that either we are alike or we're different, and that's okay. It's okay. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions down below, and I'll see you next time. Take care.